7 legendary V8 American muscle cars from the 1970s. Have you ever wondered what true American power sounded like in the 1970s? The roar of a big block V8, the smell of burning rubber, and the sight of endless chrome cruising down Main Street? The 1970s were a golden and at times turbulent decade for muscle cars. The oil crisis, government regulations, and insurance hikes tried to kill them, but the muscle car spirit refused to die. Today, we're diving into 7 legendary V8 machines from the 1970s that kept the dream alive. These weren't just cars, right? They were icons of freedom, rebellion, and horsepower. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6. If you had to pick one car that defined 1970s muscle, the Chevelle SS 454 LS6 would be it. With a monstrous 454 cubic inch V8, officially rated at 450 horsepower, this was one of the most powerful engines Detroit ever stuffed into a street car. Design-wise, the Chevelle was sleek but muscular, wide stance, cowl induction hood, and SS stripes that screamed performance. On the street, it was pure intimidation. Some say Chevrolet underrated its power. Dyno tests suggested it was pushing closer to 500 horses. This wasn't just a car, it was a street legend. For many, owning one meant you ruled the boulevard. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. The Hemi Cuda is one of the most sought-after muscle cars today, and for good reason. Plymouth took their already bold Barracuda and dropped in the legendary 426 Hemi Fiv 8, the elephant engine. With 425 horsepower, dual 4-barrel carburetors, and a sound that rattled windows, the Hemi Cuda became a weapon at the drag strip. Its wide stance, shaker hood scoop, and aggressive body lines gave it presence even before you turned the key. Only a few hundred were built, making them insanely rare and valuable. Back in the 70s, this car was the dream of every gearhead. Today, it's a $1 million icon. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT 446 pack. The Dodge Challenger entered the pony car wars with style, and the RT 446 pack was its crown jewel. Under the hood sat a 440 cubic inch V8 topped with 3 Holley 2-barrel carburetors. Output 390 horsepower, but the raw torque was what made it a street beast. Design was another highlight. The Challenger was wide, long, and low, offering more luxury than the stripped-down Camaro or Mustang, yet it had Mopar muscle written all over it. Bold colors, RT badging, and that unforgettable stance. The 446 pack gave drivers brutal acceleration without the high cost of the Hemi. It was the sweet spot of performance and practicality in Mopar's lineup. 1971 Dodge Charger RT 440 Magnum. By 1971, Dodge redesigned the Charger, giving it a curvier, more dramatic look. The RT 440 Magnum was the star of the lineup. Its 375 horsepower, 440 V8 made it a menace on the streets. The Charger wasn't just about speed, it had style. The hidden headlights, long fastback roofline, and Coke bottle curves made it one of the best-looking cars of the era. It also had pop culture fame. While the 69 Charger got the spotlight in the Dukes of Hazzard, the 71 model carved its own reputation in street racing circles. With raw Mopar torque and muscular looks, it was the definition of a 1970s bad boy car. 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. When people think muscle cars, Buick usually isn't the first name. But in 1970, Buick shocked everyone with the GSX Stage 1. Beneath the hood sat a 455 cubic inch V8, officially rated at 360 horsepower. But don't let that fool you. Real-world tests showed it pushing nearly 500 pound-feet of torque. The GSX was a torque monster. Car and Driver magazine even called it the quickest muscle car they'd ever tested. It came standard in eye-popping colors like Saturn Yellow and Apollo White, complete with black side stripes and a rear spoiler. The GSX proved that Buick, the gentleman's car brand, could go toe-to-toe with the street kings of Detroit. 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge. The GTO started the muscle car craze in the 60s, and by 1970, Pontiac had refined the formula with the GTO Judge. Equipped with the Ram Air 4 400 cubic inch V8, it produced 370 horsepower and could rocket down the quarter mile in under 14 seconds. The Judge was more than just performance, It was attitude. Wild colors like carousel red, the Judge decals, and a rear wing made sure everyone knew you weren't driving a regular GTO. For many enthusiasts, the Judge symbolized the peak of Pontiac performance before regulations began to choke horsepower. It was bold, loud, and unforgettable. 7. 1973 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. As the early 70s horsepower wars started to fade, the '73 Camaro Z28 kept the muscle spirit alive. Under its long hood sat a 350 cubic inch LT 1V8 rated at 245 horsepower due to new emission standards. But despite lower numbers on paper, the Z28 was still quick and handled better than many muscle cars of its day. The second generation Camaro had a sleeker, more European-inspired design compared to the first gen. It was lower, wider, and had an aggressive split bumper that gave it character. The '73 Z28 represents a turning point, the beginning of the end for the golden age of muscle, but proof that Chevrolet wasn't ready to give up the fight. Which one of these 1970s icons is your favorite? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And as always, this is American Muscle Wheels. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the roar of the V8 will never fade away.